Welcome to The Efficiency Point, a podcast from Modern Pumping Today magazine. I'm MPT editor Jay Campbell, along with our producer Richard Council. Find us online at mptmag.com, and you can rate, review, and subscribe to the show on any of your favorite podcast apps. We appreciate your support. On this episode, Jeff Bergman, ABB's Director of Sales and Marketing for Water and Wastewater Drives, joins us to discuss how smart technology and predictive maintenance are revolutionizing water treatment. Also, we dip inside the November issue of MPT, but first, some headlines. The rental market for industrial pumps is poised to grow by $1.5 billion worldwide during the period of 2020 to 2024, progressing at a compound annual growth rate of greater than 7% during that forecasted period. Technavio Market Research has been monitoring the market since 2017 and has found innovations in service delivery are anticipated to boost the growth of the industrial pump rental market. Volatility in the market often discourages companies in the oil and gas and automotive industries to make large-scale capital investments. In addition, uncertainty in the global economy and growing emphasis on reducing operational costs is driving end users to rent equipment rather than purchase.
Jay, do you think the increasing demand in the rental market is a good sign or a bad sign for the market overall?
Oh, that's a great question, Richard. Probably the easiest way to think about that is think of it in terms of like real estate. Like in Silicon Valley and San Francisco, there's a huge demand for real estate in that area, but there's also a greater demand in getting workers into the tech field. So you find a lot of people that are working for these companies having to share and rent places because they just don't have the funds and the capital to buy properties outright, so you end up with a lot of rentals. The same is true of the pump markets. You know, as you well know, a lot of the companies that we do business with are manufacturers. Well, the pumps that they make are very costly, high buy-in costs, a lot of overhead. If you're, say, a construction company or a mining concern, you may not have that kind of money to plop down for a purchase that you're going to use 4 or 5 times a year, and that's where these rental markets really make up the difference.
So your maintenance fields are going to make a ton of money in the long term rather than the short.
You hope so. Yeah. You know, that's the general direction that they try to get into, and like we've seen before, and we've talked to some people over time. Once those large capital investments are made, they're depreciated over, say, a 10-year period, 15-year period, and some of these pumps will run forever.
It's cool stuff, man.
Yeah. Our next story, according to a published report by Fortune Business Insights, the global variable frequency drive market is projected to reach above $25 billion by 2026. In 2018, the market was valued at $16.5 billion. The impetus for this increase stems from a rise in the awareness among consumers to install energy saver equipment. And we'll be adding to that awareness later in the show today with our conversation with Jeff Bergman, ABB's Director of Sales and Marketing for Water and Wastewater Drives. The report highlighted 17 different global manufacturers to consider in its findings and found the largest growth segment is in oil and gas. Governments of several countries are taking initiatives to construct new buildings with low energy consumption ratings, of which VFDs can play a major role. Regionally, the Asia-Pacific VFD market share is expected to grow at a rapid rate during the same forecast period, especially in Japan, China, and India, with ongoing development of industrial infrastructure and a rise in oil and gas activities being the main stimuli. A link to download the report is available in the show notes for this episode. ABB is one of the most recognized names in digital technology, and they're pretty confident about it too. So much so that the company now offers an optional 10-year warranty on standard dedicated water and wastewater variable frequency drives, including ABB's ACQ 580 series. Joining us now to discuss what these and other ABB drive products can offer customers is Jeff Bergman, Director of Sales and Marketing for ABB's Water and Wastewater segment. Hi, Jeff. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, Jay. Thank you for the opportunity.
Now, Jeff, how long have you been working in water and wastewater?
Oh, my gosh. I started off my career almost 30 years ago working water and wastewater, doing switchgear and power distribution equipment. So I guess you could almost say it's been in my blood most of my career.
It's pretty dangerous to have water in your blood, Jeff.
It's really dangerous to have wastewater in your blood.
That's even worse. And what brought you to ABB?
I came to ABB as an opportunity to take the water channel that ABB had been starting to develop over the past 6 years or so and take it to the next level. And a great opportunity for me and to bring some of the expertise I had on variable frequency drives and product management and other things and try to help ABB grow and be more successful than they are today.
Well, tell us, if you can, a little bit about these new drive offerings and also what this 10-year warranty means for customers.
We're really excited about the opportunity to offer the 10-year warranty with our standard drive products. And the great thing about our industry is that when they build something, it's there for a long time. You build a plant, you build a lift station, the equipment is there for a long time. And as a result of that, we end up with structures that tend to be older, and we've all heard complaints and problems with our aging infrastructure. And the water wastewater segment is one that is definitely, it falls in that area also. The 10-year warranty we're offering helps to extend some of the life that of these aging infrastructure facilities that people have been running into problems with. By standing behind the product for 10 years, we're saying ABB will take responsibility for the drive. You have a problem, you pick the phone up, you call our 800 ABB number, and we support you and take care of it and get it fixed. And then you aren't having to worry about your aging infrastructure. We're supporting it.
Well, I know infrastructure concerns are important to a lot of people that are working in the municipal market. If I were a plant operator or a treatment plant operator, what are some of the obstacles that would be in my way of putting these drives in place, or are there any?
It's really easy. We've got an absolutely incredible industry specialist out there in the market. Our channel partners that we work with across the United States that bring their expertise, domain expertise, in to help these operators and engineers to utilize the ACQ 580 product for their facilities. Some of the advantages of the product is you can literally use it on just about any type of pump or application in the plant. So you don't have to have one kind for a centrifugal pump and one kind for a blower. It's all the same drive. So by reaching out and talking to our channel partner network, you get the expertise, the guys who know the industry, understand how to apply them, understand the buzzwords, and can help you adapt the product to customize it for your applications.
And where do you see these drives finding the most purchase? Where are you finding customers most excited about them?
Oh, wow. We've had excitement literally from Orlando to Maine and Maine to California and Hawaii and Alaska. We've really had a lot of fantastic call for these. And some of the reasons, we use variable frequency drives to help make the process work better.
Right.
We save energy, but what we're out there selling it is we're doing it for process control. It allows us to handle surges a little better and to handle low dry spots or other conditions we might see in the plant much easier and much better than we can with just full speed operation. So the ability to control these processes really extends itself to water, to wastewater, to swimming pools, to irrigation applications. Anywhere where pumps are involved is a great opportunity to utilize these drives to make your life much easier.
So that's touching on the advantage of efficiency. What are some of the ancillary benefits that come out of this process? When you start looking at the mechanical wear and tear, non-revenue leak reductions, water hammer reductions, check valve, in some plants, the check valve will slam very hard as the pump comes off. Right.
By using the check valve ramp down in the drive, we allow that check valve to seat itself very quietly, very smoothly, and then once the valve is seated, we turn the pump off very quickly so you stop it producing any head or flow from there. So a lot of things to extend the mechanical side of the infrastructure. The less mechanical wear and tear by starting and stopping the motors a little slower, a little bit easier. You don't have that hard jerk that you have to break the base of a motor or pump, or damage the seals or the bearings in the motors, or actually the mounting hardware of the equipment on the concrete slabs that they mount this stuff on. So it's not just the energy saving, it's not just the process control, it's really looking to extend the life of all of the parts of the infrastructure that are affected with water flowing through it, or wastewater, or blowers, or aeration, or whatever you got.
So you're extending the life cycle of the entire system.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and that's the advantage of the drive. It's one drive can basically work all your applications and simplify it, make it easy to program, supported by the ABB 10-year warranty. And all of those things, one of the mottos that ABB has is who you choose matters. And when you go to somebody with the experience and the expertise and the channel that ABB has, well, we're really out there to help solve your problems.
And with that 10-year warranty, you're probably also getting in a lot of new data to help with the next generation of products as well.
Well, data is a very big thing. Data collection and acquisition, and we're starting to hear words like predictive maintenance and preventative maintenance. And then, we have issues. We have emergency maintenance where we have to replace a street or we have a water main break. And being able to predict when the variable frequency drive or the fans or the bearings or the motors are potentially going to fail means we can do it on Wednesday afternoon. We don't have to do it in an emergency. We don't have to air freight parts in. We can have everything there when we need it, and it makes it easier to do repairs. And you're right, the reliability increases significantly. And what we've known and what we're utilizing with ABB's hundreds of years of experience in motors and equipment. Obviously, we're not in the business for over 100 years, but just the decades of experience we have in the motors and equipment, just utilizing that and helping to make our customers' lives easier.
And how do you balance the need between data fluidity and moving the information where it can be put to the most good, as opposed to the concern for security that a lot of plant operators would have with their data?
There's a lot of people concerned about the cloud because of security, because they don't really know how to protect their data. And one of the things we're explaining to people is the cloud is more of a symbol. The cloud could actually be a server data storage that you use in your facility, and then you can choose to send data to ABB to have us do some of our analytics to, or you can choose not to. So you don't have to worry about where that data is stored. You don't have to worry about where it's going out to. You can control that and keep it within your facility and send a burst to us. We send the analytics back, and then it's yours again. So you don't have to worry about that.
Is that some of the stuff that you're hearing from your customers in the field already?
We're beginning to hear that. I mean, that's one of the pushbacks we get from a lot of our customers is they're afraid of, who has access to the data, who owns my data. I know you're getting it, and if ABB, has access to that, who owns that data, and who owns the analytics of everything? And we own the logic, we own the experience with the data, but we don't own the data itself. We understand how the bearing's lifestyle goes over time, given vibration and heat. But we don't have to know the horsepower ratings and the duty cycles. We just know what happens to the motor when you're given those conditions. And if we can take that data and do the analytics for the temperatures in the drives and the current ratings of the drives, we can help predict when they might fail, if they're going to fail, and maybe even extend their life by changing the operational patterns. But yeah, we are hearing that from our customers about who's owning the data, how to handle it, and also some of them are afraid of the amount of data. They have so much data they don't even know what to do with it.
Kind of paralysis by analysis.
Exactly, and we're trying to help them by offering many more analysis, different things we can do with it. But I think today we're all kind of overwhelmed with the amount of data between email and text and all these other ways to get information. It's kind of overwhelming. It's like drinking from a fire hose.
Right. And so how do you see, how soon do you think the gap can be bridged where technology like this can give us truly preventative and predictive maintenance?
We can see it today. In some applications, we can do this today. Sometimes in our infrastructure, we're a little behind the times. We might not have the infrastructure in a smaller facility or municipality to support those kind of investments today. But we can put the equipment, the hardware in today, and then we can update it or upgrade it in the near future or in the far future to be able to accommodate the data acquisition and all of this information exchange and technology that's going on out there.
So it's possible that within our lifetime, we might replace mean time between failure with mean time between repair.
That's the hope. That's what we're definitely looking to do. We'd like to see it in the short term, we'd like to see, in the next 3 to 5 years, we'd like to see more of that. But I think we've all got to learn to be a little more patient and do it right. And I think in our lifetime, we'll definitely see it. And I think in our kids' lifetimes, it'll be part of their day-to-day operation.
Well, here's hoping. Jeff, thank you so much for taking time to talk with us today.
Oh, my pleasure entirely. And I want to encourage anybody, if they have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to the ABB Water Wastewater Channel Partners for any information or questions that they may have. And
where can they find more information about ABB online?
Check out the www.abb.com, and you can also go to /water, and that'll take you to our site.
Got it. Well, thank you so much, Jeff. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
I've enjoyed it immensely. Thank you for calling, Jay.
Take care. We're thankful to the listeners to this podcast, as well as the readers of MPT Magazine. If you're a subscriber, the November issue should be in your hands already. In addition to the 2020 Buyer's Guide, this month's issue includes a feature in our Pump Solutions section from Sulzer's Manish Talwar, illustrating the benefits of retrofit for boiler feed pumps in a liquefied natural gas plant that increased overall performance by 5%. And I encourage everyone to check that article out. Our featured case study this month, Ann Boris of Welltec Biopower, shows how they integrated a biomethane plant into a Fritsch potato chip producer's food processing system. Richard, what's your favorite potato chip?
Jay, it's 2 for me. It's either going to be nacho cheese Doritos or restaurant-style tortilla chips. So I got 2 kind of battling. Now they're both corn chips, right?
Those are both corn chips.
But one's
that's
got
not
the
a potato
cheese.
chip.
Well, fine.
I'll tell you a funny story. A friend of mine is Catholic, and one year for Lent, he said he was going to give up meat.
Mm-hmm.
And he's over at the house, and he's just hanging out. And I'm asking how his Lenten observance is going. He says it's going very well. And then he reaches over into my kitchen, which I have no problem with. Friends is a friend. Grabs a bag of pork rinds and starts chowing down on them in front of me. And I ask him what he's doing. And he says, "What? I'm just having a chip. I thought it was okay." And I said, "Well, of course it's okay, but you're eating pork rinds." And he says, "Well, I know. These are my favorite chips." And I tell him, pork rinds. Those are not chips. That's meat.
Key word, man.
And he gets very upset. He's like, "Oh, man, I don't know what to do." And I say, "You know what? God made you this way. So I don't think you can be punished in Lent for being dumb." That's I don't know, sin of omission, sin of commission. That's just not knowing that pork rinds are not potato chips. I don't know how you can punish anybody for that.
Maybe he just thought it was the flavoring. Maybe he just thought it was like shavings. I don't know.
I'd like to give him that benefit of the doubt.
You have to.
I really would.
I mean, you're the one that's friends with him.
For myself, and thank you for asking, I'll probably go with a Pringle. Also in this issue, Steve Mosley of BJM Pumps shows how floatless pump control systems can be the best solution for dewatering on construction sites. If you're a current subscriber, there's still time to sign up for a free 12-month subscription by visiting mptmag.com and clicking on that subscribe tab. This has been The Efficiency Point, a podcast from MPT Magazine. Follow us on Twitter at ModPumpMag for updates on our next episode. Today's episode was produced by Richard Council. Until next time, I'm your host, Jay Campbell, and thank you for listening.